Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the school building committee meeting on Thursday, July 13th. It is officially 6:07. Just a reminder that this meeting is being audio and video recorded and will be broadcast on the city channels. All right, so let's get right to it. Hope everybody's having a good summer. First thing on the agenda is, well, there's no public comment, correct, Miss Linville? You didn't receive any as well? All right, great. And this is our first meeting since, oh no, y'all had a meeting without me. Never mind. Oh, sorry, my son is flicking water at me. All right, so we're gonna jump right into it. And I believe Margaret, or is Aaron giving a debrief about the MSBA vote?
I will just start and maybe Aaron could finish. So yeah, as you know, there was a successful vote on the 21st, and we had a little party that night, but we didn't, I think, actually have a chance to talk about it. It was very quick, as it typically is. It's rarely more than 10 or 15, maybe 10 minutes in front of the camera. The mayor spoke, and he was fabulous. There were also letters of support, and let's see, both Rep Duffy and Senator Velas came on and said a couple words and submitted letters of support. But it was quick. I mean, mostly what we heard was how glad the MSBA was, as we are, to kind of be back. So Aaron, it was new to you. So do you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I thought it was terrific. The mayor did an amazing job. Everyone at the MSBA seems so happy that we were at this point. I think it was really great that we could be there, saying that we already had the support of the city council. So
That was great.
I mean, amazing job by everybody. It was great to see Rep Duffy and Senator Velas, and they also both came to the celebration party after. So just kudos. I mean, June was an amazing month, from a culmination of years and years of hard work, and definitely a huge thanks to this committee. So congratulations.
Definitely.
Yeah, it was pretty great. All right, so moving right along, I guess then, right?
Yep.
All right, so checking on actions from the last meeting, we need to approve our minutes from the, is it 6:15 meeting?
Yep.
If anybody's had a chance to review those, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion to approve the minutes. I read them today.
All right, great. Thank you, Mr. Tallman. Can I have a second from someone?
Second.
I heard Kathy, I believe, or
Yes.
T on the second.
Yes.
All those in favor, please raise your hands virtually or physically in the screen. If you're off screen for some reason, feel free to say your name and say aye, so Miss Linville or whoever's taking record can record it, please.
Aye.
Thank you, Jessica, I believe.
I also say aye too. So
Okay, thanks, Kathy. It's great. I recognize your voices now. I don't even have to look at the screen.
I think we're good. All 9 members who are here.
All right, so just for formality's sakes, any opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. All right, moving on, we're going to review and discuss our membership matrix. Unfortunately, Miss Deborah Vega had to resign due to our schedule moving forward and prior commitments that she has over the summer. So we are looking to add somebody to the committee. I've put some feelers out with the Ward 4 City Council rep to see if she knew anybody. But if anybody knows anybody, you know, it was a Ward 4 seat that Deborah held, but it doesn't have to be Ward 4. We would just like to keep some diversity on the committee. So ideally not somebody from Ward 7, because we're already a little heavy from 7. Ideally somebody, you know, a parent, multilingual, involved on boards within the city. So if anybody has any recommendations, feel free to reach out to Josh directly, or you can reach out to myself if it's easier for you, and I can recommend to Josh or pass on your recommendation, I should say. All right, so moving back to Margaret, we'll let her help us review the schedule moving forward, the overall schedule, and any updates with that?
Yep. So there are a couple of small updates here, and this will kind of lead into a design update. But from from what we looked at last time, so, we were here the last time we met. Now we're here. So I've kind of grayed out everything else. So here's tonight's meeting. The consultant team, I would say the big item to let you know is that the early package, which includes abatement, demolition, and site work, is out to bid.
Great.
As of yesterday. We delayed it a week because the 4th of July week just got kind of hairy with vacations and timing and all of that. So I think when we were with you last time, we're expecting it to be out on the street on the 5th, and it ended up being out on the street on the 12th. So we're using a process, sort of format called biddocs.com. If you're interested, it's a completely online bid system where bidders go, they can download the drawings, they submit their bids online. And although we've used it a number of times, it's new to the city. So Jamie Morrow couldn't be here tonight, but I think so far she's watching eagerly to sort of learn the ropes of that. So that's out to bid. Right now, the design team, and Chris will talk about this, is finalizing the site plan review package and then working on construction documents, which have to go to the estimators in early August. And we do expect the bids to be back on, Chris, I think it's August 2nd, correct?
Correct.
That the bids are due. So that's, the 3 weeks from the date that the bid packages were posted. So I don't think it'll be on the 2nd, but by the 3rd of August, we will be able to give you a written update and also give City Council an update. So that's the overview of what's changed. Everything else is pretty much as it was from our previous presentation. So before I take that down, are there any questions about that?
Yeah, Margaret?
Yeah.
Yeah, the package you said that went out as of yesterday, that's for the demo and what else? The design?
So it's for abatement. So you have to kind of take the asbestos containing materials out of the building before you demolish it, because then the demolition debris becomes a cheaper category to dispose of, essentially. And then there's site work. So as you can imagine, when they take the building out, they are leaving a pretty big hole.
Right.
And Mount Vernon, I think, made the case fairly early on that if at this time we then kind of filled the site in keeping with the requirements for compaction and management of soils, so that the site was, it's not going to be like a park, let me just say, but it will be prepared sufficiently that when the contractors are bidding on it, they know that they can drive onto the site and get started. Chris, do you want to add anything to that?
Margaret, I think that's a pretty good assessment at this point. So the goal is, and I know we've talked about this in the beginning, is to save time and money, get this work done early. And then with the general contractor comes on board to build the building, he can start or she can start excavating for building foundations immediately to save time, and because it'll be a pretty condensed construction schedule. So that's kind of it.
Yeah, Margaret, just so I'm clear, this bid that went out yesterday is just for the abatement, and there'll be a separate one for the actual demolition?
No, it's all 3 tasks. So it's abatement, demolition, and this process of filling the site to kind of make it a functional site. It's all 3 packaged together.
Okay, so one contract.
There will be one
Right.
one contract, but the three pieces. It'll be interesting to see. It is left up to them how they go about it, but I think Mount Vernon Group is making the assumption, which I think is correct, that they're likely to start abatement in one corner and move across the site followed by demolition, and depending how they contract the site work, there might be a third behind. So you might have all three contractors on the site at the same time, but it is not up to us. It's what's called means and methods, not up to us to tell them. They can, whoever can figure out the most cost-effective way to do it is going to get the bid. So.
Excellent. Yep.
Okay, any other questions? I don't see any questions. Okay, so what's next on the agenda? I don't have the agenda in front of me, so I don't know. Ksenia, can you see it?
I can.
Update on the
Okay.
site plan review.
Update on site plan review. So I'm going to turn this over to Chris.
I'm sorry, you guys. I was talking and did not realize I was muted. So I was reading you the agenda and then she's like, do I have it? I'm so sorry. I did not realize I was muted. So sorry about that, y'all.
That's perfectly
Update on
okay.
early site plan and demo package bidding, and then update on site plan review, and then update on building design process. So Chris is probably going to cover all of that at once.
He is.
Yeah,
All right.
perfect. So just to let everybody know.
Do you want to stop screen sharing? We can still.
Oh, yeah.
see
Sorry
you.
about that. My apologies.
Okay, so just kind of to circle back a little bit on the early site package, the goal is to have the contractor on board and start at the beginning of September, and we expect them to be complete at the end of the year in December. At that time, the general building project will be under the bid process. So one will kind of follow the other. With regards to the site plan review, our civil engineer and landscape architect are preparing the necessary plans to go before the planning board for site plan review. So they've met with the assistant city planner. The goal is they're going to submit, and we're going to have an early meeting coming up towards the end of July. Kind of discuss the parameters, the intent. They will then get the package over to the planning board. We will end up, they'll have a review period. We'll meet with them to discuss any of their questions. Once that's taken place, there'll be a number of hearings thereafter to make sure we have, there's going to be public input possibly, if any. And then they'll go through that process through August, and then early September. We hope to have everything approved by the beginning of October. If there's no issues, et cetera, it could be a little sooner. So that's kind of the process going now. They're going to review, so this has to go through when we submit it to the planning board. They then distribute it to the various city departments for review, DPW, engineering, the police department, fire department, et cetera. So then everybody can kind of weigh in as to the plans meeting their goals and standards within the city. So that's a process that takes place. Their comments get submitted and reviewed, if any. And then, there may be some approvals pending revisions to certain things as we move along. This kind of site plan review process, it takes about 8 to 10 weeks, maybe up to 12, but we're still within the time frame of the early site package going on. And we plan to have this wrapped up well before our building package gets put out to bid. And as far as the building design process is going on, so we have all of our consultants going full bore on the design process. We're holding meetings with them. The plan is set, as you know, we've met with everybody, with the square footage, the design, it is a model school. But we are meeting with everybody just to make sure, discuss coordination of mechanical systems, electrical systems, that type of thing. Technology and how that all gets integrated. We're going to be setting up meetings through Whitney and Sean with city departments and their departments to make sure we have, the appropriate systems for maintenance. Whitney and his staff are all familiar with them. They have input. We'll be presenting those choices such as like brick colors and design features with the building design subcommittee through working groups. So I've reached out to Dennis Daly, our design principal. We're going to be discussing that early next week. And then we'll submit a schedule that will probably coincide with these meetings or in between. And then that subcommittee can report back on the progress. Given the fact that it's a model school, there won't be a lot of changes, but things like, brick color selection, cast stone, some of the interiors we'll be discussing down the road as well, with interior finishes. And it'll all be based on the model school. So there won't be a lot of changes, if you will, because we can't defer from that. But, colors and selection, we want to make sure everybody has some input with that process based on their preferences. We did meet with the science director yesterday. We had a very good meeting with Eric Levine and our subconsultants, electrical, mechanical, to talk about some of the lighting, plumbing, and ventilation requirements for the science labs and the STE rooms. Eric was very pleased with the design and what we've got to offer, and the fact that furniture and some of the things that we're providing are going to be very flexible for various setup, not only now for some of their science programs and things, but it gives him the flexibility as the district moves forward in years to come and their programs evolve, the curriculum changes to meet those expectations. So, right now, that's kind of where we're at. What we would like to do in the upcoming meetings, we'll prepare some slides to show, the 3D model of the building and how we've kind of evolved it a little bit, made some little tweaks here and there. One of the things you may notice, there's a new energy code that will be in effect when we permit this thing at the first of the year. And in order to meet that new energy code, we've had to make some adjustments in window area. So there will be an abundance of natural light in our classrooms as we profess. There will be some operable windows, but we've had to reduce some of the square footage just to meet the energy code. You used to be able to do it with, close to 30%. The new code is requiring us to get down to about 20% of the wall area to be windows. And, some of the things we've also done is we've gone from a hollow metal aluminum framing system for windows to fiberglass, which a lot of designers are doing to help meet those energy code requirements. So we'll show you those effects. We'll start talking about colors and some of those efficiencies as we move forward. Does anybody have any questions on the building design process or what to expect, what they would like to see or not see?
Hi, I do. This is Erin Plinville. I am wondering, early on in your update, Chris, it was like 4 minutes ago, you said something about like we might do some public meetings, I think, or something like that, or public might have a chance to weigh in. If you said that, maybe I heard it wrong. I just wanted to know what it would be for precisely and when we would do it so that I could be planning, because it feels like I definitely didn't have that in our schedule. Happy to do it if it's an important part of the process, but maybe I misheard.
believe he said people and meant the subcommittee.
Yeah.
I'll let him clarify.
So the goal would be to put a schedule, a group of working group meetings, right? A list of working group meetings that we would want to hold with the building design subcommittee. And then we would go over we'll share that with you, Aaron and Margaret. We're going to discuss that as a group, make sure we've got, the appropriate dates and times. We can plug that into the schedule. And then that working group subcommittee would have the ability to have some input, suggestions. Again, model school, so there's not a lot of changes we can make. Like I said, there's just some minor things that we've done. And then we would share that with the overall committee. Once everything's been kind of solidified, brick color, cast stone color, window framing color, and maybe some interiors, then I would expect we could share that with the public and hold some community forums, again, whether they be virtual or not, just to give updates, right? I'm sure that at some point, the education advisory group, maybe that group of individuals that are starting to take place where maybe we know who's going to start occupying the school, maybe not, I don't know. But start sharing that information.
Okay, so I'm hearing that maybe in like late September, or October, we might host like one in person and one virtual public forum to give people an opportunity to have an update on the project. Okay, thank you.
Yep, absolutely. So that's kind of where we're at with the building design. It's moving fast. We've got a 60% submission to the estimators, August 2nd. The estimators will take about 3 weeks. They'll develop their 60% estimates. We'll get that information. We'll bring that back to this committee, and then that, along with the 60% drawing specifications and another binder of technical information, will go to MSBA for their review. Make sure the project's on track. They will typically send it out to a third-party reviewer as well, consisting of architects and engineers, just a, an extra set of eyes. We'll get those comments back, turn them over, and then we'll move on and continue that process into, when the bids are going to be, bid documents will be ready sometime mid-November. Any questions? Great.
All right, great. So do we need to discuss specifically a schedule for working groups or no?
So I would expect, I'm going to put a list together with my design principal, Dennis, and then we could get that. I'm going to discuss with Margaret and Aaron. We can get a schedule to go before, because our next meeting, I believe, is in 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Thursday, August 3rd is our next meeting.
Perfect. So we could share that, and then get everybody on board to moving forward.
Okay, great. All right, so moving right along then on that same exact topic, our upcoming meetings, we have Thursday, August 3rd, Thursday, August 17th, and then Thursday, August 7th. So at that August 3rd meeting, I plan ahead to discuss some subcommittees and some new assignments there. If anybody has
and that's the meeting that we'll be sharing the bids at too. So.
Oh, okay. If you guys know in advance if you'll be on vacation and unable to attend and you're a voting member, if you could just please reach out to us and let us know, because if we don't have enough people to make quorum, which is 9 currently until we add more potentially, then we can't meet. So we don't want to waste anybody's time to log on and plan for a meeting that we can't have. So please make us aware of your summer vacation schedules. Don't feel guilty about it. Everybody tends to go on vacation this summer. So, don't feel obligated to tune in while you're, in the Alps or something awesome. So just let us know you can't make it and we'll reschedule if we need to. Anything else anybody else needs to discuss while we're on? I know that no subcommittees have met since our last meeting, so there's nothing to discuss there. So if no one has anything further we need to add, I think we can adjourn.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, the third meeting you said was what? You said 3 August meetings, but the third one's
no,
September?
2 August. So August 3rd, August 17th, and September 7th.
Okay, you said August 7th, so.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sure. September, okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
All right, great. So like I said, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn if nobody has anything else that we need to go over.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All right. All those in favor? Please raise your hand. If you're not on video, please say aye with your name.
Jessica said aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we're good, everyone. I see everyone's hands who's in
All right,
attendance.
great. Thank you everyone for your time. Meeting is officially adjourned at 6:30 p.m. and we'll see you on August 17th.
Have a great night.
Great.
Thanks,
August
everybody.
3rd.
Thank
August
you,
3rd.
everyone.
August 3rd. August 3rd.
Sorry, August 3rd.
Bye. Thank
Good
you,
night.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody. Good
Good
job,
night.
everybody. See ya.